Hello everyone, it is me, and today I'm going to be reacting to two videos about XL bullies on the news, because the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm not really interested in dogs as a person. I'm not really a dog person or animal person in general, but these videos have kept me really entertained just essentially about the people who own these type of dogs, because like I said before though, I said in earlier videos on when I was reading news articles that I don't believe these dogs should be banned. I believe it should be the responsibility of the owner rather than the dog. But other than that, I believe that the people who own these dogs are retarded, essentially. So this is why I'm doing this reaction video, because I think it is the responsibility of the dog owners, and that I'm going to be reacting to these not news articles, sorry, but these videos that are being created by the news to give my say on it and give my say on the matter. So yeah. So anyway, if you want to know my honest opinion beforehand, sorry, I believe these dogs should be legal to own. But I think most of the people who own these dogs are idiots. So anyway, without any further ado, let's wrap to the first video. Alright, so the first video is about a XL bully that had been muzzled up for a month or so. So this is by Channel 5 News. I'll put the video link in the description. Same with all these videos. So anyway, without any further ado, let's wrap to the first one.
Muzzled up and on a leash in public. The new rules
for
XL bullies like 2-year-old 7-stone Rocky have kicked in. His owner
not really the most friendly dog when it's 7 stone, but anyway, I digress.
Doesn't agree, but she's doing what she must.
He's a bit wary of more things. He can't play fetch. It has to
well, it's probably not a very good family dog then if it can't even play fetch. It's either it cannot play fetch and just stay by itself quite an introverted dog, or otherwise. Anyway, I digress.
He's used to people coming up and saying hello and able to give kisses to them, and he can't do that no more. And it's like a loving dog.
Why?
He's been
I don't know how the muzzle on, but he could still say hello
now, Rocky
to people.
is clearly still getting used to his muzzle, and he did show his frustration when the camera was turned off. Twice, he managed to shake his muzzle off briefly, and at one point, he strained at his leash and growled at my cameraman colleague. Now,
I think this shows that this dog is not acceptable for public. Is not an acceptable dog for the public. Zach growled at a cameraman. Someone tell me, there's a slight hunch that this dog is not acceptable for the public. But anyway, I digress.
Zoe, his owner, was shocked. She said he's never shown any aggression before. She put it down to him not being
shown any
used
of
to
that
his muzzle.
aggression
but
before.
For us, two
Sure, he
strangers,
hasn't.
it left us feeling pretty shaken.
Alright, these are some
the
dogs attacking people.
The XL bully ban after a spate of attacks, including this at a petrol station in Birmingham.
Jesus.
An 11-year-old girl.
It's Birmingham, so what can you expect?
Owners who don't want to have their dog put down have to apply for an exemption certificate before February the 1st. Then they must insure and neuter them, and the muzzle stays.
So the important thing at this stage is that Wanda gets to put her nose in voluntarily, and we're not putting the muzzle on her.
Jo is training a Staffy Cross today, but has helped XL bullies too. She says the ban won't solve the problem and wants a different approach.
Education.
Well, at the end of the day, is a muzzle. At the end of the day, it can't really bite people. Yes, it can bite. It can rip the muzzle off and still attack people. But at the end of the day, like, if you cannot control your dog with a muzzle, then you shouldn't really have the dog at all. Like, keep in mind, this is a person who believes these dogs should not be banned. These dogs should not be banned. But if you can't control your dog with a muzzle, then what are you doing without a muzzle in the first place? But anyway, I digress.
People have an idea of what responsible ownership is, because responsible dog ownership is something that's mentioned, but there's no definition of it. So what one person feels is
well, I suppose that is technically true, but I count responsible dog ownership as people being aware of their dog's peculiarities, as you will, and being able to fight back against them, being strong enough to fight against them, and be able to put consequences on the dog if it does act out of nowhere. But anyway, I digress. That's my point of view. It was a bit of a midwit over, but I digress.
Understanding of what that means. What are some foundations of being a responsible dog owner to keep your dog safe and keep the public safe?
Zoe believes XL bullies are being wrongly singled out. She's still hoping a legal challenge will overturn the ban, but with many others saying the move is long overdue, The divisive debate goes on. Tessa Chapman, 5 News in Essex.
Alright, so that's the end of the
Muzzled up.
video. What my thoughts on it, like, I can understand why a dog doesn't like to have a muzzle on its face for obvious reasons, but if you cannot control a dog without a muzzle on its face, then you shouldn't be really having control of the dog in the first place. Like, I've already said this for the second time or the third time in the video, that I do not believe these dogs should be banned. I believe people should have the free ownership of these dogs, but if a dog ever has an incident where it bites a person, that person should have the ownership. Not necessarily ownership of the dog, but they should be able to say whether that dog is put down and you have to pay for medical bills. But I digress. So anyway, I'm talking about this video for too long, now on to the next video. Alright, so I have a second reaction video to this video as a whole, and it's of a guy from Wigan, and it's called "A Dad Wears a Muzzle in One-Man Protest Against New XL Bully News." Now, I'm going to say my thoughts again, but you know, I'm going to have to criticise this guy in every way I know. So without any further ado, let's react.
A dad staged a one-man protest against new laws on XL bullies by wearing a muzzle and drinking a pint through a straw at his local pub.
Alright.
McGeady, who's 51, and his 6-month-old dog Lexi wore matching protective guards during their visit to the Straw Hat. Eamon ordered a pint at the bar and drank it through a straw. His daughter
Alright,
Elle,
so that's good enough. He's actually is practicing the protest that he's preaching. That's what I like to see. Proper protests of people who actually have a reason to believe what they believe, not some crap protests of some virtue signalers. But anyway, I digress.
19, said he did this to make a point about the new legislation on the breed. Elle says that Lexi now hides when it's time for a walk because she knows she has to wear the muzzle. She also claimed other dogs have started to bully
I don't really understand this about the dog hiding over there being a walk, because I can understand why, because the muzzle must not be comfortable for the dog. But anyway, I digress. Like, your dog should be comfortable enough for this to happen without the muzzle on. But anyway, I digress. I might be a bit of an arsehole, like, putting holes into this situation, but I digress.
XL bully. The government has rolled out a series of new laws concerning XL bullies following a number of fatal attacks last year. As of New Year's Eve, it became compulsory for these dogs to wear a muzzle in public. Elle added, every time we take her for a walk, she's hurting herself trying to scratch it off. Dad was wearing the muzzle to show people who think these dogs have a bad...
Like, don't get me wrong, I can understand why this could be a problem, because if the dog is hurting herself or himself, trying to get the muzzle on, that could make the dog more aggressive and attack other dogs and people as in person. But anyway, I digress. But that's my point of view.
Reputation that they're not actually that bad and it's not fair. Fellow customers in the pub reportedly praised Dad for the...
I couldn't understand the point of view of the dog and the owners. This is not all dog owners, of course. Same with any dog. It's not that point that certain dog attacks someone or other. But at the end of the day, it's these dogs that cause the most issues. Like, 13%. They are 13% of the population and 50% of the crime. Should we get rid of 50% of crime? I believe we should. That's a joke, guys. That's an absolute joke. But I digress. It's an absolute joke.
There was solidarity with the XL bullies, saying that the stunt showed that he's a good owner.
So yeah, I don't think this is how it works, a protest guy, because at the end of the day, with you putting that muzzle mask on your face, it just makes you look quite kinky, to be fair. It makes you look utterly kinky. So having a muzzle on your face, I can understand the point of view where you're coming from here. I understand the point of view, but at the end of the day, it just makes your point not look good. It makes you look kind of like a prat and an idiot. Like lots of the people who need comments have said. But I can understand your point of view. So anyway, so I have to say, so in my opinion, should you be allowed to own the dog? Yes, but it doesn't make you free from financial responsibility if your dog ever attacks someone. I believe if your dog ever attacks someone or a dog or another person, you should have to pay for medical bills at the end of the day. So my point of view, you know, if pay for a bite, pay for the debt, and at the end of the day, that's how I believe it should do. Anyway. Put comment below if you disagree with me on any of these issues. Put comment below if you disagree or not. I just want your opinion. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Goodbye.